Perikimel. Midas HaGaivo, he says the characteristic of Gaivo, arrogance, haughtiness. Hefech Midas HaNova. It's the extreme opposite, it's the antithesis of humility. Kol shenemar b'midas HaNova l'shevach, whatever we speak about humility in the most praiseworthy context, nemar b'midas HaGaiva l'benus. L'ganai, that's the way you speak about Gaiva in the negative, as something which is deprecating, something is despicable, something which is unacceptable. B'mesech sot perkama omer Reb Lozer, kol odom sheish bo gasus haruach. A person who has gasus haruach, roy legodo kashera. The Torah says the Asherah was a idolatrous tree. When he came to Canaan, it was the Asherah tree, right? Lulav shel Asherah, mission in Lulav Agozo, right? It's a tree that's worshipped. So the Torah says when you come in, it says Asherim tigadeun. When you come in, you have to cut down the tree and you have to uproot it. It's been worshipped. It's worshipped. It is. God means Baal Gaiva. Person who has inflated spirit. Literally means gas. Gas means like earthy, thickness. A thick spirit. It's not a refined spirit. Roy legodu kasher ksiv hochav v'romi hakoma geduim. It says romi hakoma, those who have an upright posture, geduim, they should be cut down. And it says regarding destroying the Asherah tree, the idolatrous tree, it says it should be cut down. I mean, it says you have to cut it down and uproot it. Evidently, it's something which you don't want to be associated with. There shouldn't even be a trace of it. It's being excessive in an area which is not acceptable. Nobody's perfect, but to what degree are you imperfect? You know, that's the question. Person has certain flaws. What about if the flaws are magnified? You know, so everybody has this, but not at your level. It's tosefes. It's an excess. You know, the Gemara says in Sota that a person has to have some degree of gaiva. Because if a person truly feels he's nothing, ultimately you're going to become non-functional. You have to believe you have some value, but it's at a very almost infinitesimal level. But even that, it's not so simple, because the moment you go there, you never know where it could take you. But yeah, some degree. So it's tosefes. It's a tosefes davar she'eino roi. It's excess of something which is not appropriate. Torah tells us the human being is an eitz hasodeh. It says we're not permitted to cut down a fruit tree, right? Ki odom eitz hasodeh, v'ashereh yotzis min oretz, umagbas atzmo lemalo. Tree grows out of the ground and it grows in an upward direction. V'agidul zeh, hu gidul zor. They worship this specific kind of tree. It's a gidul. It's a growth, which is something which is not acceptable. Because when this tree grows, comes out, what do they do with it? They deify it. They worship it. And that's why the Torah says you must cut it down. You must eradicate it. Since it's inappropriate for a human being to behave this way, so you're an eitz, which is an aberration. That's what you are. It should be cut down and uprooted, similar to the Asherah tree. Besides something in addition to this, now this he says interesting. Asherah is a tree that's worshipped. What's a Balgaiva? What is he? A person is truly self-centered. What do you worship God? God is your doormat. That's it. God, I need you. But what do you need? God, he uses, like people, a person self, he uses people. These people, they use people. If they do anything, it's only for their own interest. So in a certain way, continuously the using. Use God. You're an avodah zarah. Who do you really believe? Who's the end? What's the objective? God's a means to an end. Who's the end? The end is the person himself. Kimbash mashu bagayvu asher gemura kimishu balgayvu kamo kshover avodah zarah. Moshe Yisbarach v'cheinikra balgayvu ashero shasheru hu gidul gavu shel avodah zarah. This is the glory. They pride themselves in it. V'chein hu mishu balgayvu v'gavu shelo hu gvoa shel avodah zarah. Gavus, similar. I value myself. I revere myself. Do you know who I am? People say, do you know who I am? And who are you? Ki mishu bal gaiva hu kamo avodah zarah, ovid avodah zarah. It's like he's worshiping an idol. Self-worship. I've seen people looking in the mirror. They can't pull themselves away from the mirror. What are you looking at? How long do you have to look? You have to make your tie understand. You want to look presentable. This, that, whatever it is, it reaches levels. It's not to be believed. So what is it? It's self-worship. You're worshiping yourself. It's over avodah zarah. Many years ago, my mashgiach, this story took place in the early 50s. I wasn't in yeshiva yet, but there was a person. His name was Stauber. He passed away already. Stauber in Yiddish, Stoiber means dust. Stoiber is dust. So he was already a student. He was 20 years old. It was like in 1955. No, not dying. Stoiber, not starben. Stoiber. So then in those years, how large was the class? 20 students. There weren't that many students in yeshivas. There's already not in elementary school, even high school. There's post-high school. And my mashgiach is giving a shiur, and my mashgiach realized he fell asleep and he wasn't in touch with the Gemara. And the Gemara Behar speaks about my boy's bayara. A person takes possession of somebody else's land, moves to somebody else's residence. He says, "My boss, what do you do with my bayara? What do you do with my land?" So he calls the student and he says, "My boss bayara, what are you doing here? You don't come here to sleep. It's the middle of advanced shiur and Gemara." He says, "Who are you?" He says, "Ich bin Stoiber." Like Avram Avinu says, "Anochi of a vapor." He says, "I'm dust. What? I'm nothing." That's how he expressed his humility. What am I? I'm nothing. Ich bin Stoiber. To be continued. No, confidence has nothing to do with gaiva. Depends why you're confident. A person can be a fool, he's confident, right? I'll give you an example. This has relevance to David, because this is part of his history. A person goes, what's it called? When you jump out of the plane, what's it called? Skydiving. Guy's 17 years old. He's confident that he's gonna land on the ground on both feet. What's the basis of that confidence? It's foolishness. Right? Whatever it is, that's foolishness. A person's confident because truly he knows he's qualified, he's capable, and he understands. That's not arrogance. It may be believed, it may be perceived as arrogance, but it's not arrogance. It's not arrogance. You go to a doctor, he gives you a decision. What has to be done, a certain procedure, based on his diagnosis. Right? No, that's not. Doctor has experience, he makes a diagnosis. And based on his diagnosis, he gives he says, this is what has to be done. It's not gaiva. It's based on his experiences. That's his evaluation. That's what has to be done. So the confidence is based on his experience.